But also remember that the power of choice is not about being perfect. It's not about being someone you aren't. It's about controlling the controllable, even if you don't have control over everything, because you are going to make mistakes. Even I make mistakes every single day with the best intentions. Let me share one last story with you, and let me take you on one more trip to Germany. What could have easily turned into Exhibit A in your classroom discussions on questionable decision-making. Feel free to use me in your next case study on parental missteps. I spoke at a conference with my fellow speaker friend Mike, and during a break I found him standing clueless, confused, and totally annoyed in front of a refrigerator again in the hallways, looking at a variety of bottles. And as I walk up to him, he says, "What's wrong with those Germans?" A question I ask myself since 25 years of marriage. Now, as you know, Germans take sparkling water really seriously. And they don't just have sparkling water or seltzer, they offer still and light and medium and then hard seltzer before they enter the realms of sparkling. I personally love a fresh, bubbly, highly carbonated glass of water. So I really never could befriend myself with whatever you Americans here consider sparkling, which is, let's just be honest, just slightly fizzy tap water. So when I moved from Manhattan to Florida, and for the first time walk into one of those 70,000 square foot supermarkets, imagine my excitement when I find an entire aisle dedicated to hard seltzer. So week by week, I filled up my shopping cart and did what every responsible mother would do. Every morning for school drop-off in the car, I brought some cans of hard seltzer that I happily shared with my kids. Today, let's try strawberry. How do you feel about mango? I still wonder what those teachers in the car pickup line think about me. So if you're ever looking for a real-life teaching moment about uninformed consent, I have got some cans of it in my garage. My dear community of Access Lex, before I ever stepped into a corporate boardroom or onto a keynote stage, I spent more than a decade in the classroom, just like you. I started my career in education, and I have felt the weight and the pressure and the quiet victories that only educators truly understand. But that was 20 years ago, and I can only imagine the challenges you navigate nowadays. My choice today is to pause and say, I see you, I see the late nights, the tight budgets, the hard conversations, and the even harder choices you have to make. I see what you do, not just for your students, but for the justice system they will one day step into, and for the courtrooms where outcomes are real and the stakes are high and lives are shaped by those who have been taught by you. Which is why it's not just what you teach that counts, it's also how you lead, how you are perceived, and how you claim your place in this story. The choice to step forward and shape how the world sees you before someone else writes the narrative for you. Because you, my friends, the extraordinary members of this Access Lex community, are surrounded by people who will always lift you up and help you grow. And even if the world around you isn't always as logical or predictable as you wish it would be, and even if not everything unfolds exactly as you envisioned, I hope you will always remember this. You are not just education leaders or administrators. You are the architects of beautiful student journeys and departments and schools and courtrooms. And no, the power of choice is not about changing who you are. It's about becoming more of who you are by intentionally connecting with others on a human level, and by shaping not only how your schools are perceived, but how legal education itself continues to evolve. Thank you for using your choices to shape what's next in legal education and for having me here in Savannah. Thank you very much.